police aren't putting them there.
In the 1950s, Americans were uncomfortable with the look of new technology in their homes, such as radios, stereos, and TVs.
Police officers and
Wooden cabinets such as this one provided a way of assimilating into their homes these new alien technologies. The first U.S. Immigration Act, passed in 1790, limited immigration to, quote, free white persons, unquote. As this term suggests, a construction of an opposition between black and white is the primary one that is functioning in the United States as a measure of all forms of racial construction. Of course, other racial categories have and still play an important role in the construction of the society of the United States. Between the late 19th century and the 1920s, the increased influx of immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe, as well as from Ireland, would coincide with the parsing of new racial subsets among whites. Members of these new racial types were said to pose a threat to the Nordic race, the latter being reputedly the original white race, and hence the one said to be most capable of self-governing. The 1924 law known as the Johnson-Reed Act limited immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe. Notable among the supporters of the act were members of a movement known as nativism. The American nativists of the 1920s believed that their own racial identity as white Americans was threatened by the new immigrants. The Ku Klux Klan, as well as other white supremacist groups, conducted campaigns of intimidation and violence against these immigrants. The parents of my mother, whom my father would meet almost 30 years later in 1953, were nativists. In the 1990s, I interviewed my father's mother. She recited to me a poem she remembered from her childhood. She was living then in the Pontian Greek community of Istanbul, the city some Greeks occasionally still call Constantinople.
No, what was it? What are the words? Just so I have them, so I can have them.
Why you have them?
So that,
Ο Μάιος μας έφτασε εμπρός βήμα ταχύ να τον βοηθήσουμε παιδιά στην εξοχή. Φέρνει τραγούδια και χαρές, λουλούδια και δροσιά και μυρωδάτη φόρεσε ωραία φορεσιά.
During the same interview, she told me that she wanted to be buried in the dress that she had bought for my parents' wedding. That day, my father had not risked his stature as white for the derision of his new wife's family by inviting his own parents to the wedding. Although my father reconciled with his family, my grandmother mentioning to me over 30 years later her wish to be buried in the dress she had bought for the wedding demonstrates the persistence of the trauma related to the construction of a so-called white race. I believe ghosts are everywhere in America today. This speaker cabinet is an example. My Greek grandfather, as he tried to fit into his newly adopted country, made a product that tried to assimilate new technology into private American homes in a way similar to his own efforts. For over 50 years, it has been silent, but now it is speaking again.
Now this opens up to this. I think it's some kind of voodoo curse.
Definitely not voodoo. Voodoo is benevolent. It's a curse of some kind. Source of the symbols are multiple. Celtic, African. That doesn't tell you who wrote them. Where did you find this?
The original was in the house of the late Cal Anderson.